Part 1. Universe. In this part, I will establish a universal principle. This principle is important to understand the context in which life exists. The essential remark is this: the form of something is equivalent to its memory. The properties of the universe are often considered to be space, time, mass, and energy. It is well known that Einstein proved that the mass of a body is equivalent or is a measure of its energy content. His equation, E equals mc squared, where E is energy, m is mass, and c is the velocity of light. We can use this same equation to prove that the form of a universal body, including the universe itself, is a measure of its memory. A change in the memory of a universal body is a change in its form. We know from this first equation that c is the velocity of light, and we know from another equation, E equals hf, that the energy of light is its frequency. Neither the velocity attribute nor the frequency attribute of light carries geometric information. But we know from the hologram principle that the phase attribute of light carries 3D geometric information because phase differences between fields represent differences in distance and time from their emission or their reception. Footnote: the generalized hologram principle and generalized Huygens principle established that any form of wave field can be recorded and restored or modified in the same way as light fields. The phase attribute of a light field can be recorded and restored without loss of information as a phase difference recording, i.e. a hologram, if it is interfered with a reference field R. And it is also known that the constructive or destructive interference between a light field F and a modifying field M can control wave fields in the absence of a recording medium. This is Gabor's essential equation for holography, where W is the energy flux entering the holographic recording medium or the detecting antenna. FR asterisk and RF asterisk express interference between the light field F and the reference field R, with the asterisk as the phase conjugation of the related field. Given E equals mc squared, we can consider atoms as volume holograms. Upon exposing a hologram to a substantially matching reference field R at a later time, the interaction between the phase difference of the matching reference field R and the hologram creates an output field, F out, that essentially matches the original light field F in the sense that it has the same phase difference as the original light field relative to the reference field, and the set of data embedded in the original light field F can be recovered from the restored light field F out. It follows that only phase difference is computable within the universe. It is further known that every point of a light field F contains all information of the entire field, and that any fractional portion of the recorded hologram contains sufficient information necessary to reconstruct the complete original 3D information pattern. This is the same as saying that partial exposure to a substantially matching reference field R of the hologram restores the set of data embedded in the original light field F, but with less detail and sharpness than absolute exposure. In effect, each photon bears information about the entire universe. Footnote: it is this property of holography, or the Huygens principle, which, intuition says, solves Gödel incompleteness, making the universe a complete ideal system. In space-time terms, this is the property of coherence. Properties at a space-time point are known at any other point. In either case, the restoration of the original set of data constitutes time travel, or at least temporal recall. Time becomes a fundamental representational coordinate of memory. Memory is asymmetric in time. If everything is recorded, as time progresses, there is more memory. Because all universal bodies absorb and emit photons with phase conjugation and energy conservation, we can say that the form of a universal body is determined by the full history of its phase difference recordings and restorations of these photons. That is, by its memory of photons. Photons are the universal currency. To relate back to E equals mc squared, we can say that the form of a universal body changes at the velocity of light squared due to the universality of phase conjugation. If the form of a universal body is its memory, we can say that the state function, or wave function, of a universal body, including the universe itself, is its memory. The state function of a universal body is incomplete if considered in isolation as independent from the universal set of state functions. In effect, each universal body adapts its behavior and form to the entire universe, and the entire universe adapts its state to the state of each universal body. Footnote: in economic terms, the state function of each player is its memory, and each player adapts its state to the entire economy. In evolutionary terms, the state function of an organism is its memory, and each organism adapts its state to the entire environment, which includes other organisms. Form and memory and function then become universal properties alongside space, time, mass, and energy. The core question which follows: given a desired form of a universal body at a future time, what is the ideal light field, phase difference memory, to achieve it?